One of the things highly sensitive children often experience is feeling like they're misunderstood. No one gets me. In this video, I'm going to give you a really specific example of this that I was going through with a client today. And this scenario seemed to hit home with her. So I want to see if it hits home with you. Watch this video. So often, highly sensitive people and highly sensitive kids feel totally misunderstood, like they're an alien, like they're born to the wrong family or the wrong planet. And really, one of the things I want to say, I have a 60-year-old client that has told me this the other day, and I said to her, it's not that you were born to the wrong planet, you were born to a family that wasn't attuned to you. And this contrast kind of saves you a little bit because it pushes you towards self-awareness and becoming conscious so that you can break this family generational issue. So I want to give you guys this analogy that I gave to one of my younger clients this morning. And it just came out of nowhere to me and it felt so accurate. And she started to cry and I said, I got to share this. So we were talking about how recently she went home to her childhood home where her family still lives, and she wanted to kind of do it as an experiment to see how she would feel in that old environment and see if the same experiences came up, the same triggers, as sort of an opportunity to heal those and see them differently and really validate her inner child. So she went home and all the same patterns were still there. And she was explaining to me what it felt like. She was trying to get a need met. She was saying she needs space. She needs a sacred space. You know, we all need our own space. I call it the Candice Room. I have that in any house that I'm in. I have the Candice Room where I have, you know, the cushions, the couches, the desk, whatever I need to make me feel like this is my sacred space to process, to work in, to whatever. And I highly recommend that to anyone who has high sensitivity in any way. So she was asking for this safe room, the safe space. And her family member was taking this as, you know, complaining. You're complaining. All you do is complain. And I said, I don't see it as complaining. I see it as asking for a need to be met. And someone doesn't know how to meet that need, gets triggered by the fact that she herself didn't get that need met. And so also, if you get that need met, it may make her safety zone melt away because it may upset someone else in the house that she's trying to organize or be responsible for. So she's like, wow, that makes so much sense. And I said, it's kind of this experience of you're seeing some things that are going on in the house that are not healthy. And you're bringing it up and you're saying, I'm seeing this unhealthiness. I need to get a safe space away from it. And everyone else in the house, it's like an alarm is going off. You're saying the alarm's going off. I need a safe space. The alarm's going off. And everyone in the house is saying, we don't hear any alarm. And you're like, this is crazy making. This is crazy. The alarm is going off. The neighbors see the alarm. Everyone's moving to outside of their houses. My own family doesn't see the fucking alarm. And this happens a lot with highly sensitive kids or highly sensitive adults who are in sort of a narcissistic codependent system where people are in denial and pretend they don't see things because it'll just keep things together. They decide to go to sleep. And so the alarm is going off for you to wake them up and you're awake and they still sleep through the alarm. Even though they hear the alarm, they say they don't hear the alarm and they ain't gonna wake up. And sometimes people make that decision, I don't wanna be awake because then I have to deal with things. And it scares them. So we have to honor the fact that they don't want to wake up, but you don't have to go back to sleep. So the other point of this is a lot of highly sensitive kids will come to me and say, or adults will say, hey, as a kid, I would feel out of control and I would act out and I would slam doors and I'm well, yeah, honey, because you were trying to wake up the sleeping people in your house. The alarm was going off. You were acting on behalf of getting them safe. The alarm's going off. They weren't listening. You got louder to wake them up. They still didn't listen. It feels crazy making. It feels infuriating. You feel out of control. So I want this video to be validation for you and your highly sensitive self. You probably felt super misunderstood. You probably felt crazy at times. You probably were maybe out of control in your behavior because your whole thing was to get people to wake up so that they could feel what you were feeling, understand what you were understanding, and validate the experiences you were having. I get it. It's really hard to grow up in an environment of sleeping people when you're awake. If you know anyone who's highly sensitive, grew up highly sensitive, has highly sensitive kids, maybe pass this along. I also want to remind you all, Emotional Rehab, my new course, is now available. It's still got a discount for the next few days, so please check it out. It is about healing these emotional wounds that highly sensitive people often have, that they then, if not healed, take into relationship dynamics that mirror the same frustrations and the same issues until we come home to self and heal these wounds. So please check it out. Check all the links below. Please share and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you soon. Namaste.